What's up you guys, I'm Dan, this is Frugal Not Cheap, and I finally got FSD Beta on my Tesla. So if you're relatively new to the channel, I bought a 2017 Model S 75 back in early 2021. So I've had the car for, coming up on 2 years now, and it has been pretty awesome. A few things that I did are I got the Media Center upgrade, the MCU upgrade to MCU 2. This allowed it to do things like stream Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus and all that stuff. Added a lot of really cool features. And then the other thing at that time that I did was buy the FSD package. The prices had been going up. Prices are pretty high now for FSD. So I figured I'd lock in that price and basically pay a very expensive call option that someday my car would be able to do some fantastic things. So I already had enhanced autopilot that came with the used car that I bought from a third party, not from Tesla. And so the FSD upgrade cost me $5,000. Since that time, I've been waiting patiently to get into FSD. Unfortunately, my car was not eligible for a long time because it turned out that the cameras that it has on were not the same spec as all the cameras that are on the new Model 3s, Model Ys, and then of course the refreshed S and X as well. Basically, they just don't see color as well, and so they had to put in some new cameras. But of course, they promised with the FSD payment, or when you got FSD, that they would upgrade any hardware that you needed in order to eventually realize its full potential, or what they promised. So it just became a waiting game of when am I going to finally get an invite to get the camera retrofit. Well, a few weeks ago that finally happened, and I was able to schedule a mobile appointment to get the camera retrofit done. This was actually my first mobile service appointment with Tesla, and so it was pretty cool actually to be able to sit here in my home office and do some work while the technician was out there getting the work done on my car. Now I asked him if he wanted to meet in my garage, and he said he'd prefer to go in the parking structure because he'd want to get an LTE connection and he'd want more room to work as well. So what we ended up doing is finding an area in the open air, the open air parking structure. And we parked our cars next to each other. He came in a white Model S, which is kind of cool. And then took him about less than 2 hours in order to do the full install. And so what he did, I tried to get some footage here of the different cameras. They do look a little different, but at the same time, I don't have before and after pictures, sorry. But they replaced the B-pillar cameras. They replaced the side repeater cameras, so those are nice and shiny and new. And then they also replaced the 3 cameras in the sort of the front housing, the forward-looking ones. The only camera they didn't replace, I think, is the rear camera, so that one's still the same. So very happy with that experience. So I'd had this message in my in the Tesla app on the safety score that said my car was ineligible for FSD, and then if you clicked on it, it would tell you it's because of the cameras. Well, after he did the install, he had to push this package, so I got in touch with him and he pushed that package over LTE, and then that message went away in the safety score, so then I knew my car was eligible for FSD Beta. At that point, it was just another waiting game of, hey, okay, when's the next release going to come out? When am I going to be able to get FSD Beta? But one thing I did in order to try to speed things along is I sent an email out to the early access team at Tesla, letting them know that I'd gotten the upgrade, I was excited, and is there anything I need to do in order to get FSD Beta? They said, nope, we're going to add your VIN on the list, and have a great weekend. And then, just a week or two later, we got news that the update 10.69.3.1 was rolling out to FSD cars, and didn't happen. I didn't get a notification right away. So I think it started rolling out Saturday morning. But Sunday night, I was driving, and all of a sudden I saw that little yellow down arrow letting me know that a software update was ready. And so I had a really good feeling. I was very excited that that was probably FSD Beta 10.69.3.1. So the following afternoon, I hit the button. That was a very exciting moment, hitting that button. It just told me that it was installing version 2022.36. something. And so I didn't know if it was going to be FSD Beta or not. But I am very pleased to say here we are in the car now, And and then I got my cameras ready and went off to film my first FSD Beta drive. Now, I don't know if this has something to do with sort of a calibration problem when when it first installs, and I've actually noticed this with other YouTubers as well, where sometimes the first day right after an update is not as good, and then it tends to perform better in future videos of theirs. Anyway, so my experience, my first FSD Beta experience was definitely not great. So first, I didn't realize that you have to go into the autopilot settings in order to enable FSD Beta in the first place. I thought it would just happen, so it wasn't. So I started driving and it wasn't enabled. But then I parked and I figured that out, and I set the cameras back up in a slightly different way, and then I started driving. And I don't know what happened, but it just made some really silly mistakes. Like, we were going to take a right turn and it switched into the leftmost lane first, and then last minute had to change lanes. And yeah, so you can see me here talking about that and not have to do much. In 500 feet, turn right. Why did you do that, Beta? Silly girl. All right, so yeah, she's trying, but she's really, this is very wrong. So that's interesting. This whole visualization's really different. No, she's being really dumb. So you can see at this stage I'm really not all that happy with FSD Beta's performance, and especially because I had given it what I thought was a pretty simple task, which is to go to the Kroger grocery store. And from the road that I was on when I activated the system, all I would have to do is take one right turn, then go straight, and then take one left turn into the Kroger parking lot. So I was like, this is really, you know, a softball. But didn't turn out to be, because we missed that first turn, and then it didn't know how to pull a U-turn. But it did acquit itself a little bit better, taking the left turn, because yeah, onto the road we were originally supposed to take a right turn on. All right, here we go. All right, this is better. This is better. It hit the turn signal. I don't know why it turned the turn signal off and then turned it back on, but so far so good. The visualizations are pretty cool. It is peaking, and we got lucky. That was dangerous though. That was dangerous. But then disaster again. Well, I don't know about total disaster. There may have been some things that I couldn't see. Maybe there was some cross traffic inside the parking lot that was blocking our path. But anyway, things didn't seem to go very well trying to take the turn into Kroger. So hopefully she's going to be patient or take advantage of the right timing. So she's thinking about it. Here we go. Now she screwed up. She hesitated too much. Now the way home went quite a lot better actually, so we can see that. So yeah, I'm gonna engage FSD right here. I don't know why I thought that it was gonna do that. Better stop, dude. Okay, good. There's no, okay, we're safe right now. Yeah. We gotta accelerate though. You gotta give it the beans a little bit, honey. All right, there we go. All right, so that was reasonable. We got out of there just fine. I usually hang in the middle lane, so let's see what it does. Here we go. Okay, good. Hopefully we'll have a better return trip here. So far, so good. Anyway, the visualizations are really cool, and you can see it's really quite confident about most things that it used to be kind of not very good about in terms of where's the drivable surface, what are the medians, what are the lanes. All right, so here, I would like it to get over in the left lane sooner rather than later. People are really pushy around here and it can be tricky. But just in the interest of science, we're gonna let it do its own thing. And right now we're really lucky. There's actually no traffic to my left. So we got real lucky. It is now changing lanes. I don't know if it's a distance-based decision or if it has anything to do with what the map data says about things or what it's seeing. But anyway, reasonable time to switch lanes for the left turn. So I'm happy with that. There was plenty of time in case people had been jerks in order to find our way over to the appropriate lane. So that was good. So let's see how this left turn goes. We do need to get up into a left turn lane over here. So right here where these dotted lines are, we got to cross. All right, it's doing that. Very good. Fair enough. That's fine. And we got this yellow light, so that's unfortunate because I'm going to have to be very careful to make sure she doesn't do anything stupid here. Because look at all that traffic. All right, so yeah, I'm just ready to slam on the brakes here because whoa, okay, here we go. You got to give it the beans if you're going to go. Got to give it the beans. Okay. Oh. But when I got home, I really wasn't all that impressed with FSD Beta at this stage, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to use this on a daily basis. This is really not great. It really was kind of a letdown. However, I wanted to just give it a shot. The next morning I had to drive down to North Dallas to northwestern Dallas to the Mexican consulate to do some paperwork. And then I also drove over to meet one of my friends for dinner. And so I let FSD Beta do its thing there, and the experience was much, much better. In fact, especially on the drive over to my friend's house, both there and coming back, I was incredibly impressed with this system. So I'm going to try to take another drive, and hopefully I'll be able to recreate that to some extent. I'm not sure. But it seems like, it's settled in, so there was some kind of, it had some more difficulty at its first go, and things seem to be running better now. I don't know if it needed to calibrate the neural networks to my car or how that works, but anyway, it's definitely performing better. And then also I'm learning how the system works, what its limitations are. And so I think that is also helping me be a lot more at ease and really have a better time using the system. So yeah, I'm going to try another drive here. Hopefully we can get some good footage, and it will prove out what I'm saying. But either way, I'll give you some more thoughts.
Now turn right onto West Plano Parkway.
All right, we've enabled the beta. Let's see how we do here. You're clear. That was not good. It worked out okay because he was able to move around, but I wouldn't have done that. Not the best start, because there was plenty of time. She just got kind of confused. Anyway, this part's going well so far. These turns are tricky because visibility is very, very low. You can see all those cars up there. Alright, now we got a green light, so we got lucky. This will make it easy. Hopefully this guy doesn't cross into our path. They did not. The nice thing about Beta is she's always going over into the nearest lane. I'm not sure if that's what you're supposed to do. I tend to cross lanes sometimes, but anyway, it worked out. This is only my third day with the beta, but I have to say the second day already was much, much better than the first. No hesitation at the green lights. That one's really nice. Very good. Going around these cones. Stay. Okay, very good. Very good. I can't get ahead of this guy. All right. Yeah, come on. I was trying to get ahead of him, but... Alright, is it gonna do it now? No. Yeah, Beta screwed that one up. I think if I just let her keep going, it would have been okay. And another nice thing is going around these speed limit signs. It used to do these kind of odd slowdowns where I had to hit the accelerator in order to keep speed. So not having to do that with Beta is great. Also not having to confirm that it's okay to pass through these green lights on Beta is great. That's something that before I got the Beta, I would have to confirm every single time we passed a green light. Yeah, here we go.
Now turn left.
Good. It's being a little bit too cautious, but maybe it's okay. Here we go. All right. All right, I would have started. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, no, this is excellent. Look at that. Wow. All right, guys, I am very pleased with FSD Beta's performance here tonight. All right, guys, so there you have it. Very rough start with FSD Beta, but subsequent drives have been much, much better, and I'm really happy with the system. I do think it's going to alleviate a lot of the kind of the nuisances that I had before I had FSD Beta of confirming the traffic lights, and just a lot of little things like cross traffic. It would brake too hard and whatnot. So it's just going to be a little bit more relaxing here. Definitely get a sense of its limitations. As we go forward, if we have any interesting updates, I'll definitely let you know as I learn more about the system. But yeah, whereas I was a little bit kind of, I don't know how this is going to go. Now I'm really quite happy with it, and looking forward to seeing how this progresses, especially when we get version 11 coming soon, which is going to be the one stack to unify them all, where we'll have the highway driving and the city driving all in the same stack. All right, thanks very much for watching, guys. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you'd like to support the channel, please subscribe and take a look at my referral links in the description, see if they're useful to you. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.